But I studied how he directed because I did it like for 3 years, and I was studying how he was directing. And when you actually see the play outside of being in it, like, dang, all these actors act exactly like you act like him. You act just like that's Josh all day. That's him on everybody. There's no, okay, I can see Mary, I can see Joseph, I you know, whatever. You don't see different people, and when I direct, I encourage my actors, even if the character is exactly like your personality, if it's just so easy to be this person, I throw little things in there, like in my show, the guy who played the husband, yes, he's meek, mild, you know, everybody wants that perfect husband. He doesn't raise his voice. He definitely had to yell at her. I was like, okay, look, get mad. What's gonna make you mad? I don't really get mad. Okay, look, you want me to pluck you in the air? What you need? What do you need? Like, what is gonna take you? What would it take?
Right.
And they really sat and had one-on-one conversations with each other, and they felt each other. Okay, if you do this, I'm going to get mad. If you provoke me, yes, I'm going to get mad. If you throw my stuff on the floor in the midst of this scene, yeah, I'm going to get a little irritated, and I probably want to get mad shortly after to give this one specific monologue. I never encourage anybody to act exactly how I write it, or exactly how you think it's written.
Right.
You're stripping the art. You're stripping people of creative choice.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you can't really be yourself. You have to become that person that you're supposed to be portraying,
right.
You know, at that moment. So, yeah, I may not yell or get mad, but my character causes for me to do so. So
I think that's kind of a technique choice, though. Like if you have a Stanislavski actor versus, I guess what would be a conventional actor, like, okay, I can just react off of this instead of, okay, let me recall a time when this exact feeling that's on this page, I actually did it. So I think it's a technique choice.
Yeah, it is, but also too is because a lot of actors, when you're directing them, you know, we assume that they have something to draw from. Like, who the hell ain't got a man? You know?
Right. You don't get mad. You're lying.
You know? You ain't did that before, you know, type of thing. But you really have to really break it down for them because sometimes they haven't experienced these things that they're trying to act like, or they can't even identify with them. So trying to get them to understand that sometimes it can be a challenge, you know. So that's why when we doing shows or whatever we doing, most of my directing anyway is talking to them. We just talking about what's going on. Because you already know how to act, that's why me and you have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's about them understanding what's going on and being able to take whatever they can draw from to connect it to in the moment, you know, versus acting. I say that all the time. Like, we all get entertained. We can get up here, we can dance, we can do, and people will love it. But we're not being, we're acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you're acting, you're not being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be a mistake of being.
Exactly. You know what, that's so interesting because even from a writing perspective, Simone was talking about writing, I became a better screenplay writer and playwriter when I became an actress. I was first a writer.
Okay.
Then my mentor challenged me. He would remind He wouldn't even comment on it. He was like, I'm gonna put you in this play. And he threw me on stage. I might have had 2 weeks to prepare. And then I understood what he was trying to tell me about my writing. You need to write for actors. You don't need to write, just dump, literally, forgive the word, but vomit out your ideas on a piece of paper and then expect them to carry it out exactly the way you have in your head. You need to write for actors. So I can't give you a 2-page monologue and expect you to hit all your beats and do all your transitions well, because that's what I was feeling, and you have to say this exactly the way I wrote it, because that is the character.
Right.
So it also, even speaking of directing, you all have me doing some deep thinking. It even infiltrates the way that you write,
Right.
right?
It definitely
You
does.
can't write tons of dialogue
Mhm.
and expect somebody to convey it exactly the way you want it.
Right.
When maybe some short, quick snippets
Mhm.
may have conveyed the same
Same.
matter,
Right.
and then you have to be willing to adjust. I'm not an advocate of making a bunch of changes during once you're in rehearsal.
Right.
I mean, written changes, and then throwing it out, okay, I need you to change it, we're gonna do this. I don't like that at all. You don't like it as an actor, and I don't like it as a writer. But I have found that my writing has gotten better after being critiqued by actors.
Yeah.
And then being an actor myself. And on purpose, I would say, okay, how would you read this scene? And if they're stumbling and bumbling, the fault may not all be theirs.
Right.
And it may not
Could
be
very
the
much
director.
so be.
It could very well be
On the
writer.
paper.
On the paper.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe what's not on the paper that could help them
Right.
get to where I needed them to go.
Right.
So, I mean, just, we've already placed, just that the combination of being a writer, director, or writer, director, actor, it all informs everything.
Right.
You know, you do, and everything you try to convey, and it's a constant honing process.
Right.
You know, it's a constant, when we, even though we're in the leadership roles, when we cease to be teachable,
Mhm.
we might as well walk away.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I was once hired to direct someone's play.
Mhm.
I've never done it before. I've always written and directed. Same kind of story, acted first, and it was difficult. They hired me to direct the play. I got the play just like anyone else. Had to now read this and had to direct the cast, who's about 27.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's too many.
Yeah.
That's big, like 18 people too many.
Needless to say, I didn't do it because not because of the play of itself, but the foundation of the people who were doing it wasn't right. Money
Right.
and all that stuff. I think we did 2 rehearsals, but the difficulty in it was like something that you were saying is why I write. Sometimes I write and I shelf. I think I have like 4 or 5 pages vacant for the right time, but writing gives me the ability to explore my world in such a way now that I can convey that and someone else can portray it. Okay? As talented as we all are, it's that actor, that actress that's going to take that role and envelop it into something monumental, which is why what you said is so true, because I had a tendency when I just started writing, 106 pages, and wow, but it really could be 65. Allowing the character, the person, to take that character now, so I don't have to do a paragraph in this scene, because it may be 2 lines, and that person is going to take it to that paragraph in their acting. That came from developing and knowing the actor, understanding and stuff like that. So I think the points are great, but just like what you said, having the ability to write and direct, and then being an actor's director, even when I do still take on roles, I do better with an acting director because he or she knows, how to convey, and I'll stay away from like the guy that you talked about. Or
Right.
I have to, and speaking that, thank you so much. Speaking to your point, I was actually in the Easter play. Okay, so I've experienced it from.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. and I was Mary Magdalene,
Mm-hmm.
and so there was a lot of crying. There was just a whole bunch of emotion, and there was a team of maybe. I actually didn't work with Josh directly till the end, but there was maybe a team of 4 or 5 directors that they had. And this was my first experience. This is, 8 months ago. This is my first experience ever getting multiple directions, going in different
Yeah.
directions from
One show.
One show.
One show.
And in one moment, I was told to, I need you to emote